I thrifted these yellow sheer curtains, so let's make a Sabrina Carpenter inspired baby doll nightgown dress. Yeah, let's just get to it. So these curtains are very yellow, but also very sheer, and as soon as I saw them, I had in my mind the Sabrina Carpenter look and aesthetic just wanting to be made out of these. I have 4 panels, and because it's very slippery, I hope that it works well on my sewing machine, but we're just gonna find that out as we go. And I kind of just mocked up this pattern to go off of. It's based off of this top that I already have, as well as countless images in my Pinterest feed of baby doll style nightgowns, both just pictures, sewing pattern art, as well as actual, you know, just patterns on there. So we are just going to give it a go. The main thing is this. So this is both the front and the back, and I extended it to do underarm so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm gonna cut 2, one for front, one for back, and then cut another 2 lining front and back. Then we'll just gather all of that fabric that's left over, and yeah, hopefully I'll have a baby doll nightgown at the end of this. Fingers crossed. This fabric seems like it'll be a pain. Here is my general pattern based off of that top. I basically just traced it out carefully, and then here it is. I made a couple notes of add seam allowance, armpit length needed, and yeah, this should be able to pull right over my head. So I just don't want it slipping around when I cut. Oh, it's kind of mesmerizing. So I'm looking at this and I decided not to maybe do a lining, and instead I'll just do French seams, but that doesn't address the raw edge, which I don't know if I can do a rolled hem on this. Like, will I be able to do that? I guess we should test and see if we can do a rolled hem. So yes, it can do a rolled hem. Yep, well my test says that I can do a rolled hem, it's just a little finicky, so I'll want a pin. So, yep, rolled hem is something I can do. So now I get to cut this out and throw it under the machine. So I have it cut out. Now I just need to figure out if I want to take the risk of doing the rolled edges first, or do I just sew it as I normally would and then, you know, deal with the rolled edge hemming afterwards. Speaking of which, I should give those a little clip since I want it squared off. I've got a lot of decisions to make on this project. I didn't think this through as well as I thought I did. But yeah, let's sew it like I normally would and just deal with the clean edge at the end. Alright, so I just sewed the seams and I trimmed away the excess, removed the pins, so now it's time to kind of see how this might fit. I'm just going to do it over my clothes because internet does not need to see. That is hitting about where I wanted it to, It's definitely tight over top a shirt and a bra and stuff, but it's very see-through. But I think, yeah, this is kind of what I was going for. Obviously the neckline and stuff will be in a little bit due to the edge being finished. But yeah, it might be, is it gonna be a bit tight with French seams? But French seams are really my only, oh, I see, maybe it's just because I missed a pin. There. Oh yeah, that adds a little bit more. So yeah, let me just finish the French seams and finish the edge. I might, do I want to do a lining? Obviously it would make it more opaque up top. Oh man, a lining would make things easier, but then I'd want to undo the armpit. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. Well, I finally managed to sew it, and I think it's a little not the best, but it is sewn and not going to fray a shit ton, I hope. So, you know, that's that. A lining definitely would solve some of this issues, potentially. But, yeah, this is where I'm at. I really don't want to do the armholes. This is kind of taken a lot out of me, but I mean, I've gotten this far, so it would actually be really easy to just, I could just try with a different. Well, I have this blue gingham fabric, so I think I might just see about remaking it, but in this. This, I think, is some sort of cotton, but it would definitely behave better than this. This surprisingly not as bad as I thought it would be, other than just trying to hem it. So this will probably end up being a different project that doesn't require such precision around the neckline, or maybe I will fix the neckline before. Linings usually help. So maybe the yellow will come back at some point. But for now, I'm just putting that aside, and we are going to restart this. And I don't know if I'll have enough to do like that much of a nightgown, since it's not as long, but it'll be easier than the yellow that I currently have all over my sewing room. So, blue. Well, it's a new day, and last night I had to seam rip some because I messed up. And yeah, I looked at the clock, decided, you know what, 9 p.m. seems to be a little late for me to be sewing and seam ripping. So I pressed it, and well, seam ripped last night, pressed and repinned the neckline this morning. So we are going to do some top stitching Then we'll be able to sew the lining to have it all enclosed for our top. And I think it's looking pretty cute. I feel like it's begging for some embroidery. I don't know if I want to do any embroidery. I kind of feel like a, little grandma motif or like flower or something would be really cute. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking maybe not. But got this. I'm going to stitch around the neckline, do the rolling and everything to make it encased. Then we'll finally get to doing the rest of it. And I'm kind of wondering on how much I gather, because I don't have that much fabric, and depending on how much I gather, that'll affect the length, because I'll need a lot more fabric width-wise if I do a lot of gathers, because it squishes down to a little bit, which will affect how much I have left over for length. So if I do like a lot of gathers and it's really puffy, then it'll be kind of short. So lots to think about, but yep, got it pinned, let's sew. After some stitching and everything, I finally have the very top, and I've tried this on and I've assessed on my model Judy, and I think that I'll need some more length in the armpits, which, not something, it's something I thought about, but it didn't really get accounted for when I actually cut things out. And I have some extra from when this is like the neckline section, and I'm thinking that I will just take these, make, little almost, I guess it would be kind of a bias binding type, fold it over to make a tube so that this can be added on to here and extend it, so I can have like a little bit of, maybe I'll put a tiny bit of elastic in it so it's stretchy there. But yeah, we are going to now, I guess I need to figure out how much gathering I want, like how roomy I want it, and then calculate how much fabric I have left to that, and that'll kind of determine length. Okay, yeah, now this is going to be like super roomy, so yes, elastic will be in order. So, I think I've got elastic that I will add into here. I can just sort of sew this edge as a channel, but I might want to wait till I figure out the rest of this. But yeah, I can do a little bit of elastic here. And if I do elastic here, then I don't want to have this section be that gathered. I mostly want it gathered in the front. This is very difficult to think through and like conceptualize. I don't know why. Oh, my brain. But yep, this is what we've got so far. Very wide armpits, which makes taking it on and off very easy now. So I guess, yeah, I hope this video is like reasonable, entertaining, something. But yeah, just kind of trying to work through my idea. What I can do is I can sew the elastic to the top edge. Or, yeah, I think threading it through as a channel and then stitching might be easiest. Then the fabric and everything, the gathering. Fun. Measuring this top, it looks like about 18-19 inches might be appropriate for the length. So 19 and a half with hem, And then I guess I'll just see how much fabric I have, because I'll just go with that length and see how much gathering that actually means. I hope that makes sense, works out, just like cutting 19.5-inch sections and just kind of going with that. I think that might be the easiest. Obviously I don't have a lot of this fabric. I mean, it looks like I have a lot, but it's actually not that wide of fabric. It's only this wide. Oh, that's actually a reasonable amount. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm going to trust my idea and cut 19.5 inch sections, then sew those together into one giant rectangle and gather it. Okay, that's what I'm going with. So I just serged the edges, and then I took some cotton cording and I stitched it with a zigzag, trying not to hit this cord so I can just pull and gather, and look how like easy this gathers. So I'm going to make sure that it gathers down, give it a good press, and then I'm going to pin it to here, and I'm going to make sure that this underarm section that I'll be putting the elastic in doesn't have any gathers, because the elastic will cause it to gather. So yeah, that is kind of the plan, and I've already gathered quite a bit because I accidentally forgot to hit record on the camera. But yeah, that is kind of the goal here, and I have never tried this method before, and man, it is working so well. I didn't realize just how good this worked, but yeah, you just gotta be very careful with the cord, because I don't want to pop the zigzagging or like tear the fabric, but look just how easy. Wow, this gathers like nobody's business. At the end of this, I should be able to just remove the cord and reuse it on other projects. But for now, we are just kind of gathering, and I will see you when I am ready to kind of assemble and show off what I have so far. So I just have it kind of loosely pinned for this first side, and I think that's a cute amount of gathering. It's, you know, not too bad. It's kind of hard to like visualize, but I'm gonna look in the mirror. Oh yeah, I think that looks good. So, okay, first side done. I'm gonna keep pinning, and then I will do some pressing, and I'm making sure to use all metal pins so that way it doesn't, nothing gets melted with the iron, because the plastic headed ones will melt. So yeah, keep pinning and make sure that it's semi-even around, other than armpit. Armpit, no gathering because of elastic. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Alright, so here it is. I have not finished the lining, but one side is very much gathered compared to the other side. So do I want this to be the front or the back? It's kind of heavier. I guess I can try it on. Like, let's see. I also have not cut the cotton cord that I used to gather this. Like, that's cute, but then the back is kind of lackluster. I could have the more gathers be the back, you know? So let's turn it around. So, let's see if things will behave. Ooh, yeah, the less gathers. Oh, hello, I found a pin. The negative with using the all metal pins is that sometimes you don't see them. So, yeah, I think less gathers in front, more gathers in back. That's cuter. But I'm gonna look in the mirror where I can actually see a little bit better. I love how light and loose it feels. Obviously I'm putting it on over close to show you guys, but like it's not touching in any weird spots. The only awkwardness is that it is so wide in the underarm because I have not done any of the finishing elastic or stuff. So I'm gonna look in the mirror. I'll be back when I'm ready to do the next step, I guess. But yeah, I think that's pretty cute. At least looking in the viewfinder, so I'm gonna take a look. Maybe next time I'll do capsules. So after all that fussing, I finally have the elastic in and I'm ready to do the top stitching for just securing the lining layer. I decided I'm not going to do a rolled hem. I serged the edges like you saw, and the like final bottom edge is actually still fairly straight, just because of like it seems to be hanging pretty well, so I'm not going to actually trim it up. I will just be doing serging and like a blind hem. I haven't done that on this machine before, but I think that might be the easiest for me. And obviously that's going to take away length, and with how long I made it, it's not the longest. It's definitely like a nightie or like a sleep shirt as opposed to like a full nightgown. But that's fine with me. I'll just wear shorts or, you know, something under it. But let's just finish it up. I think it might just be time for a quick time lapse at this point because it has taken way longer than I initially anticipated. All projects do, so that's just, you know, on me, but I didn't expect it to be a 2-day thing to end up with something I didn't even really have in mind at the beginning. But let's just get to it and then I'll show you the final results here. So here it is! It is definitely short. It is not covering when not wearing jeans, but it is so lightweight. It's cotton, so obviously that is very lightweight itself. And then it's just so airy because it like barely touches my skin. So I think it turned out really cute. I love the look of the blind hem. Like you can't really even tell from the outside. And it definitely is not what I had in mind when I started this project. I was not expecting to use this fabric for it, but I think it's really cute, and I could totally wear this out and about. Like it doesn't look like a nightgown necessarily, but I'm not sure that I would unless it's like super hot and then like with a pair of shorts. I feel like that would be really cute because it is like barely touching my skin, like I said. Like it's very... Can you just live out fantasy of being a little princess again. So there's this project, and I will workshop on how to use that yellow fabric, that meshy material that I planned for this. I might just end up finding a fabric that works good, like as a either contrast or complementary, similar tone yellow for like this top square neckline portion, and then just use the yellow for the bottom. But oh my gosh, I had to relearn how to use the blind hem setting because I've never done it on that machine. So trying to figure out which stitch to use and then which presser foot, it was a whole, I had to just look at the manual. But I think it's really cute. I feel like the armpit is maybe my least favorite part, but had I, you know, planned it out a little bit better, the armpit wouldn't be so goofy. But I think it's cute. I think it's fun. It'll definitely be nice to sleep in because it's just, yeah, so airy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, please check out the rest of my channel. I make things, I bake things, taste tests. I just sort of do whatever I please, but if you have a recommendation, let me know in the comments, as well as just, you know, all the things that YouTubers say. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Bye!